Let's say we're trying to improve sales. Can you walk through each of these pieces and what's some general strategies that we can use to really factor or focus in on these key metrics and how we boost sales overall?
Yeah, definitely, Joe. So, as you said, anytime there's a change in sales, it's due to one of three factors: traffic, conversion rate, average order value. So, if we want to drive more sales, we need to influence one of those three variables. So, if we want to generate more traffic, advertising is a great way to do it. The way you do that would be to increase bids across your keywords. If your bid increases, your ads will be put in higher placements that see more traffic. You'll also get more impressions. They'll appear in more placements. You're more likely to win at auction. Your ad will be displayed more times. Another option is to increase top of search placement settings. Shoppers on Amazon are more likely to browse the top of search results than the bottom of search results or page 2, 3, etc. So if your ad is featured at the top of search, then it's more likely that you'll get more eyes on it. You can also introduce more keywords. So perhaps you're targeting a fairly limited subset right now. You could add more competitive keywords into your keyword mix, or just different variations of the keywords you're already targeting to increase your exposure. You can introduce more product targets, have your ad show up on competitor product pages that are driving a lot of traffic, and siphon some of that traffic from competitor listings to your own. The one drawback with some of these tactics is if you increase bids, if you increase top of search placement settings, or introduce more competitive keywords, you could see cost per click rise. Higher top of search placement, higher placements require a higher CPC. Some more competitive keywords will be at a higher CPC or looser relevancy, so they could impact conversion rate. But generally speaking, you drive more traffic with your ads, you'll see higher sales from your ads. The second way that you can drive more traffic would be through improving conversion rate. A second way you could drive more sales would be through improving conversion rate. So the key factors on the advertising side that affect conversion rate would be keyword relevancy and your ad placement. So if we put your ad in a higher placement, you're reaching a less picky shopper. Somebody that searches for a search term on Amazon and clicks through at top of search is a less picky shopper than somebody that's scrolling down to the bottom of page 1 or clicking through several different listings and sees your ad on one of those product pages. They're doing a lot of comparisons. They're not somebody that's as active of purchaser as somebody that just browses top of search, clicks through. So by putting your ads at top of search, improving their ad placement, you're more likely to reach that high intent audience. The other way would be by increasing keyword relevancy. So think about some very unique attributes of your product, relevant descriptors, append those to your higher volume keywords, target them with broad match so you don't have to enter 50 different keywords or 500 different keywords. Use multiple product attributes, multiple descriptors, and the audience appended to some of those higher traffic keywords, and you'll have a very targeted keyword that'll reach somebody that's looking exactly for your product. Now, those will have lower traffic, but they're such low-hanging fruit that you should target them regardless of the level of traffic, since your product is what they're looking for when somebody searches for them. So just by maximizing your placements and maximizing your relevancy, you can improve conversion rate. Another way that you can improve overall account conversion rate or conversion rate for a specific product would be by adding negatives. So if you have a bunch of unproductive spend that isn't converting or converts at a very high or produces a very high ACoS because conversion rate's low, if you add negatives for those, you can improve conversion rate. The only caveat there is adding negatives will reduce traffic, and some of those negatives that you introduce could eventually convert. So improving conversion rate through the use of negatives may not be the sales benefit, may not lead to sales benefits to the level of improving relevance, increasing relevance, and increasing ad placement, especially at top of search, or introducing high converting ads like sponsored brand video. The last way through that could potentially improve ads, the last metric is AOV. So if you increase average order value, then your sales should increase as long as traffic and conversion rate hold constant. So the key way to influence AOV would be by emphasizing products that have higher price points. So maybe that 12 pack versus that 1 pack, or potentially by increasing price. There are trade-offs to most things, to almost all things Amazon. You increase price, you could see a decline in traffic because comparing your listing to that of a competitor, your product is less enticing when you increase price. So people may be more hesitant to click through, or they click through on your listing and they see that there are sponsored products related to this item that have lower price points. Somebody could easily jump ship from your listing to a competitor's that has a lower price point, thereby affecting conversion rate. So if you're looking at increasing sales by increasing price, you should do A/B testing. So run split tests, test the conversion rate sensitivity to your price point, and test traffic sensitivity to your price point. If you increase your price, does traffic taper off? Does conversion rate taper off? If so, it's likely not going to yield sales benefits. But there are certain instances where a price increase could lead to higher sales when traffic and conversion rate aren't affected, more typically in less competitive categories.
Yeah. Yeah. So those were all great pieces to cover. And, at the end of the day, to improve sales, again, we want to tie it back to either focusing on traffic, conversion rate, or average order value. And once we know where the key pieces are that we should focus on, now we can take specific actions to do that. So how we improve conversion rate is much different than how we improve traffic or try to impact average order value. And as Matt talked about, there are trade-offs for each of these pieces too. It says that if I want to try to increase average order value by increasing my sales price, it may negatively impact both traffic and conversion rate. So it's definitely a balance, and there's a lot of testing that you need to do to figure out what that right balance is overall. So, in another aspect, you could actually decrease your price, which actually decreases your AOV, but as long as your conversion rate increases more than that decrease in AOV, it could offset it and lead to more sales overall. There's margin impacts too that we have to take into account, but you can just see how everything is really intertwined.